Hello Enid, it's Monday, May 3rd, and welcome to another city update with your host Derrick Silas. And today we're going to be having Assistant City Manager Scott Morris. Thanks for joining me.
You bet, you bet. What a great day it is out here today.
Oh yes, it's a nice day today.
Yes.
Finally, let's talk about some economic development. Friday, the Best Western Glow grand opening. You attended, correct?
Yes. What a great event. Very well attended by everyone, and showing great support for the new hotel and Purvish, the new owner. A lot of people were there, and what an exciting thing for Enid, to have downtown, to have a nice hotel where hopefully those rooms will be full. That will create such an impact for the city of Enid when people are wandering around looking for something to do, trying to find something to eat. Restaurants and entertainment. It's gonna be a boost for downtown. Hopefully, a driver for the whole community.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yes. That's awesome. Let's talk about quality of life. This week is known as Drinking Water Week. Most people don't understand the impact water has in the community. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Sure. I don't know, Derrick, if you've ever traveled much, but if you go to another country, there are plenty of examples of places to go where you might be in a hotel, you might be out somewhere, and you think maybe you just get some water and drink it, but there are plenty of countries, plenty of other places where that'd be a bad idea for you to do, because they may not have the same standards we do here in the United States, and you might find that you're sick after you try to drink water in other countries. And in the United States, because of regulation, we across our country, you can get water out of the tap and drink it, and so it's there when you need it. And even in places like the city of Enid, with the well water that we have, our water tastes generally better than places across the United States.
Yeah.
And even after about 3 years from now, after the Call Lake project is complete and we have our brand new water treatment facility, we'll still be blending in well water. And so our water should be more stable and more consistent tasting than a lot of other places that are on surface water. So we're set up for the future, for the long haul. And this is just a drinking water week, is something to celebrate, to say, hey, we should be thankful to live in a place where you can just get some water and drink it when you need it. I don't know if people do it anymore, but I remember as a kid growing up and drinking from a hose. You were outside and thirsty, you just cranked on the hose, and your neighbors didn't really care. You might be over at the neighbor's house and just turn the faucet on and drink right out of the hose. We used to do that. So.
Yeah. I remember those days. Good. That's very good. Most people don't know that we do have a new professional basketball team. And you were at the game this weekend, were you not?
Yeah, I was one of those people that didn't really understand what's going on with this, guys. But the Enid Outlaws, this is an amazing team. I went to the game yesterday. I think there's about 29 teams in the league, 28 to 30. I think it's 29.
29.
Okay. And Enid has one of them. If you look up the places that these other teams are from, I think Enid might be about the smallest city that's in this league. And these guys are 8-0.
Yes.
And we beat a number 2 team that was 4-1 yesterday. They beat them 161-80.
Yeah.
It was an amazing game. I've been to some Thunder games. I've been to other games that are exciting to watch. I used to live in Dallas and go to Mavericks games quite a bit. I had more fun watching the Enid Outlaws than most of those games. Number one, it's right here, hometown. Number two, to watch somebody put 160 points on someone, I was amazed. And the fact of the matter is we need people to come out and watch these games and support these guys. They can easily find another place to go play if we don't get out there and support them. So I just want to put the challenge out. Come on, guys, we got a hometown. It is excellent entertainment for the whole family, so please please, I think there's 2 games this weekend coming up.
Yes, the
over
schedule's there.
Mother's Day weekend. So bring your mom. You know, let's get out there and support the Enid Outlaws. It was amazing to watch, and you know, not only the slam dunks and the fun things like that, but these guys are shooters. It was amazing to me how many 3-point shots just dropped in. And so if you love basketball at all, or if you're just looking for some entertainment in Enid, you know, sometimes we hear, well, there's nothing to do in Enid. Well, my goodness, go out and watch one of these Enid Outlaw basketball games. They're fantastic.
Yeah, those guys are all great players.
I didn't know what to expect until I went and tried it, and I'll be back for more games because it is a fantastic entertainment. And you know, I think most of the tickets are about $8.
Yeah.
The seats that I sat in were really nice, and they're only $16. And I just encourage anyone to get out there and support the Enid Outlaws.
I agree.
Yeah.
Speaking of quality of life, also there will be a movie in the park, May the 15th at Champlain Park. The Parks Department will be having The Secret Life of Pets. So that's 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock at Champlain Park, which is 1193 Sequoia Drive. And that's Saturday, May 15th.
There's always something going on.
Yes.
Speaking of which, I believe this Friday is Enid First Fridays again. Mm-hmm. So I think we've got another, First
and they're doing
Friday.
a fiesta.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That will be fantastic. Look at that. There's a little sombrero hat and everything.
Yep.
That'll be great. So get out there and enjoy being downtown. Hopefully the weather will cooperate. We'll have a beautiful weekend. So get out there and enjoy.
We have some great accomplishments. Last week on Friday, the tree board planted a tree at the Mill Lake Municipal Golf Course. Some of our city officials and commissioners were there to help plant the tree.
Yeah, I forget the name of that tree. It's like a white bud of some sort.
Yes.
Is what the tree is, and it's a pretty little tree. I can't wait to see what it grows up to be. But yeah, right there in front of the golf pro shop out there.
I think Commissioner Waddell named it Elizabeth.
He did.
After his wife.
He did. I was out there. I was out there at the event, and Stephanie had said, "Yeah, you know, if we would have let Scott name it, he would have named it Angie."
That's funny. Yes. Adorable.
Yeah.
Okay. And also Saturday we had the hazardous waste collection. Can you talk to me about that?
Yeah. What an excellent event. This is not the first time we've put it on. I don't know if we had one last year because of COVID at this time, but the year before we did. And yeah, we had almost 100 cars come through, very, very well organized, where you can line up, come through, drop off your hazardous materials, chemicals, different things like that. And even latex paint, they had about 9,400 pounds of different chemicals that, you know, we don't want to put back into the ground. We don't want to put it back into the environment and damage it. And we definitely don't want to put it in the back of a trash truck that might start a fire or something like that. So well done for our community for showing up, and thank you for all of those at the service center, environmental, solid waste, public utilities, all of those guys. And I'm sure there were volunteers from a number of other departments that showed up there and helped. And thank you so much for that. A good way to help solve a problem in our community. And people regularly call and say, hey, what do we do when we have chemicals and we don't know what to do with them? And we're going to try to have one of these every year, and if it gets really popular, maybe more than once a year. So great job. Yeah, and then over 3,000 pounds of latex paint that was taken out there as well.
That's very awesome.
Yeah.
Very good job. Want to remind everybody that we're still doing, the fire department is still doing fire hydrant flow testing. And this week, as you can see on the screen, there's the number of places that will be in those areas. Just remember something about the sediments. They may see brown water, correct?
Yeah, I actually had a text from a cousin of mine probably last week or 10 days ago that said, hey, I noticed my water's got a little yellowish tint to it. What do I do? And well, it's just because of the sediments in the pipe, especially if you're more on a dead-end street. Whenever they get those things really flowing and test them out, it stirs some of that up. And it isn't anything specific to Enid. That's just the way it is across the country. Mm-hmm. You know, these pipes aren't used to having that much volume flow through them at a time, and so it stirs up a little sediment. And so if that if you find that happens to you, turn your outside faucet on just for several minutes, and it'll clear it up. I wouldn't use your kitchen sink because you've got that little aerator in the faucet, and if there are some little sediments, it could plug that up just a little bit. So I'd use your outside faucet, and just a few minutes of running, it'll be clear again and safe to drink.
Very good. Coming up this week also, there'll be the National Day of Prayer. This is a community event hosted by the Ministerial Alliance here in Enid. There'll be Thursday, May 6th from 12 p.m. to approximately 12:40 p.m. And that'll be at the Garfield County Courthouse in the gazebo. Just a reminder of that. And we have some road closures. Well, actually one here, which is concrete repairs at 312 Ranch Circle. And it should be finished this week. It started April 21st, and it was supposed to be closed for 2 weeks. So this week it'll be open, hopefully. So
that is making a difference all across Enid. One that they were recently working on, they finished one on Oxford and Midway. They finished that one, and then they moved just to the south and did another one on Midway and Columbia, and they finished that one recently as well. And what a difference that makes when a few intersections are changed out. So that's what this program is. It's point repairs on different sections of town, and we're getting a lot done with that. So I know that the people who live on Ranch Circle will be happy when that is completed, and they'll have some nice new surface to get in and out of their houses on.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Want to update everyone also, the Human Resource Department. We have various jobs that are open for the city of Enid, as you can see on your screen. If you're interested in any of those, you can go to enid.org/careers and apply for those positions. Also, we want to always like to give a shout out to some of those people you'll see in the community that are always behind the scenes working, that you may see in a park, in a trash truck. So with Public Works, that division has 4 departments. As you can see, the stormwater road maintenance crews perform the culvert maintenance on Garland Road. Parks, plant a tree at the golf course. Technical services repaired a street light downtown, and fleet management did some maintenance on city vehicles. In our water area, the public utilities, solid waste services, as you can see, unload new roll-off containers. That's pretty neat. And the water production made repairs after an electrical outage. Utility maintenance made repairs to a water line on Grand Avenue. So we appreciate all those, every one of those divisions and those departments for all that they do for the city of Enid.
Yeah, that picture there unloading the new roll-off containers, that is always interesting to watch when we get those new ones in, because they come on the back of one truck and we've got to get them unloaded, and they're so large you kind of have to back up another winch truck to it, and it's a little dance to get it off safely, and it's always interesting to watch. So those guys are pretty skilled at what they do.
Interesting. Okay, well, tonight is coming up the study session for the city commission meeting and the regular session. Talk about the study session.
Sure. The study session, it'll be going over finances and the budget. We've got the budget coming up for the next fiscal year, and so Jennifer Smith, our senior accountant, our accounting manager, she'll be doing that presentation and going over what the budget items are for the next year. Really, and then next week there'll be a few special meetings on Tuesday and Thursday night at 5 p.m. to continue going over the budget. That has to be in and approved in June, well before the the fiscal year starts in July. And there's a number of, just in addition to our regular budget, we've got our capital improvements projects that we like to do and a budget for that. And so she'll be going over all of that and letting the commissioners and some of the new commissioners ask some questions about our budget and try to answer any unanswered questions any of them have. So she'll spend the whole study session just talking about the budget.
Very good.
So that's all we have lined up for the study session, is just the budget and finances for next year. And then we've got a regular meeting that starts at 6:30. And there's a lot going on this meeting. First off, we've got 3 new commissioners. So Scott Orr has already started, but we'll get him in and ready to go for for this full term. And then we've got Keith Saragusa coming in and Whitney Roberts. And so we've got 3 new commissioners, so we'll get them, I guess, administered their oath of office. And we've got a City of Enid Employee of the Month. We always love to do our pet that's available at the Enid Animal Welfare, so they'll be, I don't know what they'll have, a cat or a dog tonight, but that's always interesting. Then there's several boards that they're going to appoint positions to: the Aviation Advisory Board, Metropolitan Area Planning Commission Board. A lot of people refer to that as MAPC. And then Enid Joint Recreation Triad, EJRT Board of Directors, and ADA Access Board. So there's 4. I'm sure there are many more boards and many more opportunities to serve on boards. We usually try to break those up so that we're not filling positions, for 10 or 12 boards, and it takes, 2 hours to do all of that in one meeting. So I'm sure if you go onto the website, there are other opportunities if you're interested in serving the community. And then we have hearings. We have quite a few hearings tonight as well. So we are rezoning a property at 702 East Park from special use to C1. I think the person that owns that property has a buyer that would like to have something zoned commercial. And what's next to it is already commercial, and it actually used to be a dentist office is what it used to be. It's right across from Springs Family Practice right there on 7th and Park. There's another one for considering an amendment to the Pheasant Run Golf Community PUD. So PUDs are interesting because that's actually an overlay of a district where you can have special things that are in that. You can have special setbacks. You can have, you can do things a little differently than you can in a regularly zoned property. And one of the problems that this one will hope to try to resolve is the Pheasant Run Golf Course. Their maintenance building is kind of out there by itself, and they would like to have an extra office space out there next to it, and they want to use a mobile home to do that. And a mobile home is not allowed in residentially zoned R1 or R2, but in the PUD, if they amend it, they will be able to have that back there. And so that is happening tonight, a hearing for that. And then 522 South Monroe Street, there used to be a home there, and it was zoned R7, and now they want to change it to be zoned C3. So right on 412 in Monroe, there's a building there that used to be known as Monroe Apartments, and the owner there has bought a few of the properties next door and has already torn houses down and would like to make a parking lot there. So they're seeking for that to be rezoned. And then the last 2 are interesting. The entrances to Vance Air Force Base, there will be hearings to change Gott Road, which is the main entrance, from Gott Road to Kincaid Road. And then from South Cleveland, the commercial gate, changing that to Wilkie Way. And if you remember, I think it's been about 2 years ago, there was a tragic accident at Vance Air Force Base where a few airmen lost their lives in training. And these are the 2 guys. And coming up on Memorial Day, we would like to find a way to honor the lives of those 2 airmen, and so renaming these streets that approach Vance Air Force Base is a great way to do that. So there will be hearings for that. Then, after the hearings, there's community development items. Basically, all of the items that we just talked about, the mayor and commissioners will have a chance to do those rezonings and put that into effect. There's also a plat, another edition of Bell Crossing. So the final plat for that is ready to be approved by mayor and commissioners, and so they'll have a chance to do that. More homes being built over there, so that's great. And then there's just really a few admin items and then a lot of consent items. The admin items are some appropriations so that we can buy a new mower at the golf course. And we had talked about at the last meeting setting some rules, just because how we treat people and how we deal with one another is so important. How we show people respect. And there's a resolution to adopt some new rules during our meeting, and they'll actually put that in and make that a resolution and adopt that tonight. So that's really about it. There's a lot of things on the let's see.
Consent items.
Looks like there's 11 things on the 11 items on the consent items. Most of them are pretty normal things. There's more. Oh, this is interesting. From the 1,000 block to 1,500 block of East Maple, they're awarding a new concrete contractor to do that. JMB Concrete. So that project will be kicked off very soon. That's really about it for the agenda tonight.
Very good. So be sure to tune in tonight on our Facebook channel or YouTube channel, and you will be able to see the live stream of the study session and the commission meeting at 5 o'clock and 6:30 p.m. But last but not least, what's coming up this Sunday?
You know, it's Mother's Day.
Yes.
So happy Mother's Day, Mom. I love my mom, you know.
Happy Mother's Day to my mom also.
That's right. We can't forget. And so we thought it would be appropriate to put a little reminder out there to those of us that maybe we're too busy, or maybe we just have lost track of time. But special reminder, guys, we're putting it out there a few days early.
Yeah.
Mother's Day's coming up. So
here's your chance to get a gift if you forgot.
That's right.
Yeah. So we thank you guys for joining us today, and always join us at 1:30 on Mondays, unless there's a holiday, and we'll give you a city update with either the assistant city manager or the city manager. So join us next week, 1:30, and other than that, have a great day.
Have a great day, Enid.